just not sure really how to get into this, man, and really how to get it going. Man, I don't know. I guess we'll just fade in here, man, and we'll just get started. Salute to the family, man. Thank you all so much for taking the time to be here, man. Thank you. And I want to officially welcome you to the pilot episode of the Culture Collective ThoughtCast, man, or the cast for short. I am indeed your host, JuniorTheTruth, your Culture and Self-Mastery Provocateur extraordinaire, if you ask me. And this is where the culture comes to think out loud, man. Thank you all so much for taking the time to tune in. I really, truly, genuinely appreciate you. If I had a million tongues, I couldn't tell it all, man. But this platform, man, was really, truly built out of necessity and a need for us to reclaim thought, to challenge narratives, and to push into our individual and collective purposes, if you will. We live in a culture that promotes consumption over consciousness and trends over the absolute truth, and it's noise over nuance. But here at the cast, man, we are here to absolutely shift the paradigm, man. So I am so glad that you're here. So glad that you found your way here to us, man. Thank you all so much. And I'm not gonna lie to you, man. I've been accused of being country, and I just appreciate stuff, man. I appreciate things. I appreciate support. I appreciate positive energy, man. I appreciate contribution. I appreciate interaction. And I know in this world where there's a constant pull on your attention, it is so very powerful and so moving to me and so humbling to me that you would take the time to tune in and spend just a few moments with us here, man, at the cast, man. So thank you so much, man. Really, truly, genuinely appreciate it. And I just really wanted to try to get in here, man, and just officially introduce this thing, man. So what is the Culture Collective ThoughtCast, and what is it really about? So what it is, man, it's almost like, if you're familiar with think tanks, the old school motto of the think tanks, it is just a think tank symposium in motion. It is an inclusive conversation space, but it really is targeted for the air quote Black American men and women, particularly ages about 35 to 65. That's the demographic for all intents and purposes. When you hear me say the culture, that is the specific demographic that I'm talking about. Now, don't get me wrong. Other people are going to consume this content. Other people are going to be around. Other people are going to feel inclined to contribute their thought to the conversation, and that's cool. Thus, this being an inclusive conversational space. But just so that we're clear, and I make no bones about it, this space is indeed intended for the culture, if you will. It's kind of set up and going to be ran kind of like a cultural mirror, or a mind gym, if you will. We are going to literally get in here and go down through it in each and every episode, man. So I'm telling you, I am in this space, and the space that I've gotten into is I'm just at I don't want to use the word, I won't say crossroads, but I'm at a very volatile place in my life with regard to modern culture and how it has impacted the identity, the mental health, the progress of the culture. You know what I'm saying? Like, I am literally in this space where just modern society, all of the happenings, the current events, things that are going on in modern times, just how it impacts the identity, mental health, and our progress as a collective. And the concept of the Culture Collective as a community of people who are devoted to thought leadership, to growth, to legacy, to self-mastery, and to us really pushing the envelope and moving the needle as to how can we positively impact the social and economic progress of the culture and our descendants and our kids and our kids' kids and so on and so forth. Like these are for real grown men and grown women bars. And this is what you're gonna be faced with here, man, at the cast. Man, we're here to we're not here to trend, man. We're here to transform. That's just the best way I can explain it, man. We're not here to trend. We're here to transform. And whatever it is, whatever comes with that, man, it's gonna be what it's gonna be. So I want to talk about the engine behind the vehicle right now. So for me personally, and anybody that's been following my content all throughout all of the different spaces, whether it's the YouTube channel or the live streams or the Black Gentleman podcast or even the Punch Junkie podcast, however you follow me or however you found me, right? Those of y'all who follow the content, you know, I've been on this very strong push for self-mastery and its relevance today. I feel like it is one of the most pinnacle pieces that is going to allow a person to successfully pursue their purpose this side of the realm. And so I've really been pushing this self-mastery, really, 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 and I really have dedicated my platforms to the pursuit and the promotion of self-mastery. Also various components of Stoicism and wisdom principles, discipline, purpose, self-awareness, and intentionality. And for me, I think it's just also a great opportunity for me to share, using my social media platforms to share my personal antidotes as it relates to navigating fatherhood, business, how to really promote positively Black masculinity here in modern America. And we all know what that means. Like, we can stop playing like we don't know what that means. And I'm here to literally positively promote Black masculinity in all of its splendor in modern America, just like I do every day in my life, right? And I'm dedicating my platforms to that. And it's not always popular. It's not always easy, but it is very much necessary. Self-mastery is just the art of no longer being a slave to your impulses and external influences. It's the muscle that moves you from who you are to who you want to be and meant to be. Who you want and meant. Let me slow down. Self-mastery is the art of no longer being a slave to your impulses. It's the muscle that moves you from who you are to who you're meant to be and who you want to be. So, all right, let me get you your engagement plug. I need you all to hit the comment section and tell me what self-mastery means to you in 2025. And that's no matter where you're getting this content, if it's over on YouTube, if it's any of the podcast platforms, please let me know, what does self-mastery mean to you in 2025? And also be sure to hit the heart or the like or whatever it is to approve, to show that you're really, truly in approval thus far. All right, man. So the cast. And when I say the cast, I'm literally talking about the Culture Collective ThoughtCast, man, here. Why is this necessary? First of all, it's necessary because the culture is not a monolith. Even though media treats it like one, even though everybody treats it like one, they believe that the culture is a monolith. It's just one band, one sound, and that could not be further from the truth. That's one of the major things that we're going to be here challenging, is showing that, man, you have just a myriad of thoughts and personal practices and and personal beliefs. And a lot of times you'll have all of these varying components, but it's all in the pursuit of the same outcomes. And it's really a beautiful thing. But I feel like spaces for critical thinking and collective growth are very rare. If you understand all of the spaces that are taken, or all of the spaces that are very popular with regard to our culture, everything is so divisive. There's just an argument. You have the Democrats versus the Republicans now. You know what I mean? You have the liberal voices of the culture versus the conservative voices of the culture. You have the women, the feminist voices of the culture versus the traditional voices of the culture. You have the female or the women voices of the culture versus the men's voices of the culture. You know, you have people who have so many conflicts over romance, so many conflicts over households, so many conflicts over parenting, so many conflicts over education. Everything is just so very divisive. And a lot of it is divisive based off what people have allowed themselves to be told what to think. But spaces for critical thinking and collective growth are rare. So critical thinking for me as a thinker, and the way that I am and the way that I operate is I am so open to different points of view, different perspectives, different thoughts, different philosophies, because I feel like you can bring your conversation. I mean, you can bring your thoughts to the conversation, and then I bring my thoughts to the conversation, and we have an exchange of ideas. And in that exchange of ideas is where that's where the magic happens. You feel me? And that is where, for me, I take those opportunities to really push myself towards self-mastery, because I'm not going to have all the answers. I believe what I believe, and of course I have my codes, and I have my virtues and my principles, and I have absolute deal breakers, you know what I mean, and things that I'm not compromising on. But then there's a lot of things that I've never thought about in different ways. And so I love being exposed to new information and so on and so forth. So just having a space for critical thinking and collective growth that's just rare. And this is the opportunity that we have here with the cast. Also, I'm not going to hold you. I know y'all not going to be feeling this, but we need to have intergenerational dialogue, not just entertainment. We need to have intergenerational dialogue. We have to figure out, from my generation, we have to figure out how to effectively communicate with others from the other generations. We have to figure out how to communicate from I'm a Gen Xer, so from Gen X, we have to figure out how to communicate to the baby boomers, our parents. You understand what I'm saying? We have to figure out how to communicate with the the Gen Zs and the millennials and all of these different generations. We have to figure out how to have intergenerational dialogue, because we're aging, and we're aging quick. As fine as I am, I'm going gray rapidly. You feel me? And I know, you know, the sisters in it, they say, "Ooh, that salt and pepper, Junior. Ooh, that salt and pepper look good on you, June." Like, I get that. But I do know that I am aging rapidly. And intergenerational dialogue is has to be at the forefront of what it is that we're doing. You understand? We have to figure out how to communicate these messages and get on the same page. But so as far as the categories and how the episodes will kind of flow, we're gonna have guests and conversations with these guests. We're gonna have thought leaders, elders, doers, thinkers, and people who, have a message that they want to get out. They'll have the opportunity to get in here. Also, we're gonna have deep dives. We're gonna have thoughts of wisdom, mental health, cultural shifts / history. Like, we're gonna be addressing cultural shifts and our cultural history, as well as current events. And this last one, man, is gonna be the crux of what it is that we do. And this is going to be the thing that is going to make and or break your experience here. I'm here to check the culture. I'm really truly here to check the culture. I'm here to give honest breakdowns, my honest feedback with regard to things that are going on, what has happened, and why it matters. You understand what I'm saying? I'm here to talk about what's happening, what has happened, and why it matters, and how is it affecting us and impacting us in 2025 and beyond. I'm here for all of that. A lot of it's going to be difficult to deal with. It's going to be difficult to hear. You understand? But somebody has to tell the truth, and not just tell the truth, but we have to begin to work toward resolutions. We got to figure this out. We got to figure this out. All right, this is one that, I had to address this, and I have to address this within myself. Every man and every woman needs a code. The men that raised me, I was raised to under the philosophy that a man has to have a code. You have to have a code of operations. You have to have a set of values and virtues and practices that guide and govern your entire life. And that code, you can't be compromised on that code. I have my personal code, and I'm not gonna share my personal code today. And my personal code will come out in future episodes and over the totality of the time that we spend together in the cast. But I have a personal code. You know what I mean? And also realizing that there's a difference between rules and a code. You understand? Like, rules are the rules. Rules theoretically are external. Rules, laws, those are external. Your code is internal. You feel me? Like, your code is internal. You have a code, or some people don't have a code. It's more than obvious with where we are with regard to the culture. Some people have absolutely no code. There's nothing that governs the things that come out of their mouth, their actions, activities, so on and so forth. But theoretically, those of us that have a code, that is very much internal. You understand? And another thing that, we have to address, and my true belief is just the cost of being value driven in a clout driven world. There's a huge price attached to that. They are, and I say that, and I say that in all honesty, and this is something that I deal with in this space as a podcaster, as a cultural and self-mastery provocateur extraordinaire, if you ask me. But the world does not want you to be aware. The world does not want you to embark on self-mastery. The world wants you to be very much distracted. The world wants you to pursue clout. The world wants you to worry about all of these things that are outside of yourself. And so, as a person who promotes the concept of mastering yourself and plugging into your purpose, what are you here for on this side of the realm? I believe that my dedication to being value driven, as opposed to coming on the internet or coming on these different platforms and talking about Diddy and all of these other things that are going on, and just sports in general, and LeBron James, and, all of these distractions, and that purely being a source of my content. Don't get me wrong. We're going to work that into what it is that we do, but it's about that information and being able to extract pieces of that information to provide value to your everyday life. It's not about clout. I could give a damn about clout. I could give a damn about, and I say this all the time, give a damn about having millions and millions of subscribers. I would much rather have 1,000 supporters. I don't want people just looking at me. I want people who are ready to pick up their baggage. You feel me? And their tools. And let's get on this journey together. And let's work. Let me ask y'all this. Let me give y'all another prompt. To actually another comment in the chat. What's one principle that you refuse to compromise on? And this is for all my code bearers. This is for the people who have a code. What is one principle that you absolutely refuse to compromise on? Yeah. All right, man. So we said earlier that this is where the culture is going to be able to come and think out loud. What does it mean to think out loud? Yeah, to think out loud is to give a voice to the thoughts that most of us keep tucked away in silence. You know y'all be thinking some stuff and y'all scared to say it. You know you think some things and you are scared to say it. It's about thinking out loud. It's about unpacking the unspoken, questioning the unquestioned, and holding the mirror up to the culture. Holding the mirror up to the culture. It's about being truthful, and it's about and self, man. It's about self-mastery in real time. That's what thinking out loud is about. It means that man, we're not hiding behind perfect. I'm not hiding behind being polished. If those of you all listening, you hear me on here stuttering and thinking and giving you all kind of ums. I'm not editing none of it out. You see, I just stuttered again. I'm not adjusting it and none of that. I'm finna give it to you like it came to me. You understand what I'm saying? So it's not about that. It's not about polished answers. It's not about being mainstream. It's not about approved scripts. Instead, we're inviting truth, discomfort, wisdom, vulnerability, pain, our experiences, and we're going to invite all of that to come in here and share the same space and hopefully come out with something, with things that are going to propel us to be able to move the culture forward. Here at the cast, man, thinking out loud, like literally, and for me personally, that is my resistance to shallow conversation. I do not mess with shallow conversation. I don't mess with surface level convo. I don't mess with small talk. It's not our thinking out loud is our resistance to that. You're going to have to resist small talk if you're going to be in here and if you're going to be around me. You're going to have to resist shallow conversation. You're going to have to come in here, and even if you don't say a word, you're going to have to listen, and you're going to have to soak this up, and you're going to have to think about it. You feel me? And then you should be inclined to apply this to your personal life. And information, when people come up here and share information that you can use, when you feel inclined, you should be connecting with them. You should be reaching out to them. You should be literally leveraging this information to help you in the pursuit of your purpose, to help you in your life, that can help you on your route to pursuing your purpose. But it is thinking out loud, man. I'm telling you, it's the resistance. It's our declaration that we will engage deeply in here, not just with ideas, but with who we are and who we're becoming. We're going to engage deeply. It's a conversation, but it's also a practice. And ultimately, man, it's how you free yourself. I'll give you that little nugget. Thinking out loud is how you free yourself. Really becoming comfortable with who you are and actually living your truth is how you free yourself. Period. You have a lot of people have absolutely no idea what it is to operate in your authenticity and to really truly be your authentic self. It's one of my biggest flexes in the world is I am exactly who I say I am, 24/7, 365. I am who I am sitting here in my studio. I am who I am when I go upstairs to my office to edit. I am going to be who I am when I take my daughter to volleyball practice or volleyball camp in the morning. You feel me? Swim lessons in the evening. I am exactly who I am. When I talk to my people all throughout the day tomorrow, when you see me in Kroger or if you pull up on me at the fights in Georgia in a couple of weeks, you feel me? Like I am exactly who I say I am. And that is just the ultimate freedom. The ultimate freedom. So once again, people are asked the question like, well, why does internal conversations need to become external? Because if you keep it internal, then it loses its power. You understand what I'm saying? You give some of the things that we think, right, are things that are transformative. You understand? So like I'm gonna give you an example of dealing with a youngin', right? You might look at a youngin' and you might think something about a youngin' based on the way that they're dressed. You understand what I'm saying? And you have the opportunity to share that information with that youngin', but you keep it internal. And that information could very well be the information that a youngin' needs to transform their life. You feel me? Internal conversations have to become external. In our culture, the old folks will come up to you and say any damn thing to you. They don't have their internal conversations. It's like you hit a certain age. I think that age is about 65, 62 to 65, somewhere in there. And the old folks just start saying whatever come to their mouth, whatever come to their mind. Yeah, we need that, but we need to roll it back. And we need to be doing it now because we have to have a shift. Yeah, we have to have a shift. A shift. Somebody else might ask, how does vulnerability and reflection build legacy? If you're vulnerable to something, you think you're the only one. And when people come together and they work at overcoming a vulnerability, you understand? Now you can build a legacy that you can share with somebody who is sharing a vulnerability or who might actually come up behind you and might be dealing with a similar vulnerability. But it is huge opportunities for us to build together. Yeah. But anyway, man, once again, the truth don't need a script. The truth does not need a script. But the truth needs a seat at the table. We have to get to operating in the truth, and that is something that we don't do. But welcome to the Culture Collective ThoughtCast, man. So as far as how we plan on rolling the episodes out, I'm thinking right now it's going to be 2 to 3 episodes weekly, and it's going to just kind of be more or less my vision is for this to be an ongoing conversation. It's going to be an ongoing conversation, and weekly we're going to pick up the conversation and continue going on with the same variations of the same conversation. I believe that the power is going to be in community involvement. The power is going to be in you all submitting questions and information that you want to talk about. The power is going to be in the shout outs. The power is going to be in us collectively working and connecting with one another. This is also a good time for me to plug the Simple Truth Network, which is our very own super information exchange, www.thesimpletruth.network.com. You guys can go over there and come join. Shout out to everybody that's purchased the Simple Truth Minute Manual, the 1-hour book that will change the way you watch the clock, written by yours truly, Junior the Truth, as well as the Simple Truth Minute Manual 6-month organizer. We just released the July through December 2025 organizer. Salute to everybody. I plug that because those of you all who have got those items, fully about the Simple Truth Network. Salute to everybody that's actually over on the Simple Truth Network. Be sure to come join us, man, and you have all access to everything involved around the Simple Truth Network brand. Also, those of you all who are looking to connect with me and reach out to me, or you might have a submission for the show, or you might want to come up here, reach out to me via the Simple Truth Network. Come over, join the Simple Truth Network. You have the ability to connect with me. I'm not going to lie to you. I don't really respond to messages in other social media platforms because the Instagram, the Facebook, the TikTok, the world is a weird place. So you have to come over to the Simple Truth Network, www.thesimpletruth.network.com, and connect with me. The fact of the matter is, man, this is indeed the Culture Collective ThoughtCast, hosted by yours truly, Junior the Truth. This is the place where the culture comes to think out loud. this ain't a podcast for everybody, man. That's just the truth. It's not for everybody. And the chances are, if you're still listening right now, this is for you. And this is a place, the mere fact that you actually found me and you're still listening, it's a good chance that this is for you. If you're trying to grow, if you're trying to lead, if you're trying to live out your code in real life, man, welcome to the cast, man. Man, you've been listening to the Culture Collective ThoughtCast, hosted by yours truly, JuniorTheTruth, the inaugural pilot episode. Man, I am so excited about this. I can't wait to upload this. Hopefully I can get it done by midnight, but we'll see. It'll be shortly after midnight. But this is where the culture comes to think out loud, and growth is always on the table, man. Thank you all so much. Y'all be sure, if you haven't done so, subscribe to the JuniorTheTruth YouTube channel. You can subscribe to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, man. We everywhere. Also, be sure to come join the Simple Truth Network community, www.thesimpletruth.network.com. It is our very own super information exchange, man. We there. Man, use the hashtag TheCast2025, man, and stay tapped in, man. I just really want to thank you all once again for taking the time to tune in. Really, truly, genuinely appreciate you all. If I had a million tongues, I couldn't tell it all. And this is JuniorTheTruth signing off, man. I'm giving you your daily reminder to view your life like a paradise until your life looks like a paradise, man. I'm Ohio-born, player-made. If you don't know anything else about me at the end of the day, I got to keep pushing, baby.
One, two, I've hustled harder than most. I'm a beast on these streets, got a revolver I tote. For these niggas trying to take me off the block where I post. Up dailies, sip Baileys out the bottle and smoke.